Hi, we're dry cleaning.
You're listening to 89 FM.
The Radio Rock.
So you guys have only been together for 5-6 years and you're already playing loads of shows around the world. How do you feel this expectation happened so far?
Well,
It's surprising. I guess it's surprising.
Yeah, it's constantly surprising, right? As in,
Yeah.
I think we were surprised about 3.5 years ago when we kind of headlined even like a very small room. That was surprising. So this is extremely surprising.
yeah.
We're super happy. I mean, it's hard work, and to get like such a huge response from people all over the world is like incredibly satisfying. You know, just in a very basic level, it's great to make something that so many people hear and listen to. It's a really good feeling.
Also, you guys brought a new style that people are calling almost a spoken rock and roll. Do you believe that was one of the factors for the quick recognition of the band?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Right? No, like
Yeah, because I guess
like
we have a very recognizable sound, and I think that's really helpful to kind of you couldn't mistake us for a different band. I don't think so anyway. Seems to me like we're quite unique sounding, and I think it's got to be helpful in terms of people like just getting to know your band and even just the name of your band quickly. I think it must really help. Yeah.
I think we got quite lucky with the pandemic as well, with the timing, because we got to kind of focus kind of like all around the world, because you couldn't do anything even locally. So we started doing interviews kind of like this around the world. So we kind of got to focus, kind of a lot broader than we would have done, I think, a year earlier, which I think helped.
Yeah.
And you guys brought this new style. Was something that you just feel and come out, or you guys thought like, no, we're gonna sing like this?
It just came out, which sounds like such a lie, but it's true. There was no discussion. Not really. There was no like meeting about how we were going to sound. We just all kind of did what we thought sounded cool at the same time.
There's also still no discussion.
Yeah, we still don't talk about it. we just do it. We talk about like other stuff. We talk about like completely unrelated stuff most of the time to like what we actually do. I think I don't know, maybe the word organic is a bit overused, but I think it's probably a fitting word for what we do. It just sort of happened.
You guys are coming to Brazil here for C6 Festival, and it's also the first time that you are here. How's the expectations?
Oh, actually, me and Lewis have been to Brazil before with a different band, so I feel like I have a little bit of experience there. I love Brazil. Like, it's an amazing, totally like unique experience. Like, compared to all of the other places we've been in the world. So I feel like I have that under my belt. I'm ssure Lewis does as well.
But I'm excited for the other guys to experience it.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. But I've never played a festival. So I'm kind of, looking forward to seeing how the festivals work. I hear that C6 is really big. Like, it's a really big festival, right? So it's probably going to be quite crazy. We have a few days in Sao Paulo, so like the time we were in Brazil before, we were mainly in Rio. So I'm really looking forward to spending a bit more time in Sao Paulo, seeing, it's such a big place. Just sort of dip a toe in the water.
Yes. And when did you guys come to Brazil? What do you thought was the main difference here from the other countries?
Oh, the other countries we've been around the world? Or
like when you come here with your other bands, was something that you feel that was very different in Brazil that you don't find in other countries?
It's like the friendliest, most loving people in the world. Everyone's extremely warm and kind of like huggy. There's a lot of touching.
Yeah, I definitely, and I feel like I was quite, I was a lot more uptight before going to Brazil for the first time. People are really relaxed. No, I'm not joking. Like, maybe I'm still really uptight, but I feel like I learned to be very spontaneous in Brazil. You know, the people we were hanging out with always just like, oh, just chill out. I'd be like, when are we going to the beach? Like, what do I need to do? Do I need to bring a towel? And they'd just be like, oh, shut up, don't worry about it. And I'm like, okay. And it's not crazy to say that, that a lot of that stayed with me. You know, it was, you sort of learn ways to kind of be less uptight about certain things.
Did you guys learn some Portuguese, some few words?
such a small amount. I mean, it's crazy. Yeah.
We just drank a lot of acai. That's all we really did.
Yeah. That's very good. Did you try
apparently too much?
We were drinking like 3 or 4 a day, and then our friend who was with, who's Brazilian, was like, "You shouldn't be drinking this much. It's like an energy super drink."
Lewis is starting to turn purple from the overconsumption.
So guys, I want to know what bands of rock and roll that inspires you when you are composing.
Gosh, well, there's so many.
I guess it's a big question.
We should give maybe a shout out to Ivan from Azimuth, who passed away last week. He's one of the great, Brazilian greats, and an amazing drummer. And they're a sort of band I haven't listened to in like maybe 5 years or so, but I used to listen to them a lot. And the last week I've been going back through listening to some of their bits that I really like. I mean, he was so great. He was so tasteful in the way that he played, and so he had such a long career. And as he got older, he just seemed to get better, which I think is really amazing. He seemed like a really genuine, happy guy. So I guess it'd be nice to give him a shout out. But yeah, I don't know. I guess there's so many things we could talk about now, I suppose.
It's rarely.
Yeah, I was going to say the same. Super broad.
It really comes out what we've been listening to. I think what kind of comes out in what we're writing.
Yeah, we do a few different like radio shows and things. At the moment, we do a radio show on NTS every month, and we play all sorts of different things. I mean, in terms of like words, like lyrics, I tend to take inspiration from like people who aren't necessarily in the same like genre as us. So I listen to a lot of like Bjork and the way she writes, and this morning I was listening to Panda Bear actually, and like I really enjoy like his writing, like the words he uses, like kind of aside from the actual sound. I kind of like the sort of subjects he writes about. It's quite like interpersonal, like kind of social dramas and stuff like that. I quite like that. So that's, like that seems quite far removed from the kind of music we make, but I think like we all tend to take inspiration from just all over the shop, like pick and mix different stuff.
Pick and mix.
Also, talking about writing, how do you guys compose? Like one write, all of you write together? How this works?
We sort of jam it out a lot of the time.
Yeah. That's pretty much like 9 times out of 10. That'd be how we write a song. It'll start with something small, but then exactly. We just sort of jam and make a lot of recordings, just like really basic ones on a phone. Then we'll listen back and kind of edit out the bits that we don't like the sound of, and kind of, you know, repeat bits we like, or kind of make a structure out of the good bits,
piece things together.
And then try that and see what that sounds like. You know, it's like trial and error, you know, but it's very practical. Again, we don't really talk a lot about it.
A lot of times we've had moments where we kind of like, let's kind of write some stuff, or we rehearse and we have a period where we write in that. But a lot of times kind of ideas come from times where we won't think we're writing. So we could be like in a sound check, or we're actually just rehearsing for a tour, and a lot of ideas can come then, or even like at a show or while we're recording. Sometimes it's not intentional.
It's quite spontaneous, I guess.
You guys are saying it seems like you're very organic and these things just flow out. Where is the place that was most unique that you write? Like in the bathroom, maybe in the bath?
I love the bath.
Yeah, you love a bath.
With the first place, the most meaningful place for us at the start of the band, where we wrote all the songs on the first 2 EPs, and then maybe even some of the songs that were on the first album. I can't remember, but they were written at Lewis's mum's house, because she had a garage, and she lived quite close to where we all lived. So we would just go out there on a weekend or whatever, and we would write there. So that was like our sort of, you know, our little base. And then since then, we just kind of had to go everywhere. And it does make, wherever we can find a space, we will go in it. But it's sort of, none of them are particularly inspiring, really. It's more a case of just getting everyone in the same room, and we usually find that once you can that's the hard bit, and when you can actually do that, everything's fine.
Before you guys arriving here, you pass for other Latin countries in America. There's like Argentina and Chile. Are the exciting of playing in each country different?
Oh yeah, definitely. Because I suppose you've got a different kind of amount of knowledge about a place before you go somewhere. I've had a few different friends from Argentina over the years, but Chile is quite unknown to me. There's not a great deal I actually know about the country, and that's sort of like a joy in itself, when you really don't know what to expect and you're just going in a very open way. That can be really nice too, you know, because it's always a surprise. Even if you know something about a place, it's never quite how you imagine. We're all like pretty observant people. We're always quite up for touristy things, and eating local food, and kind of going on walks. Lewis walks a lot when we're on tour, like just to look at the city and take it in. So we're gonna get as much out of it as we can, I think.
It's also nice to see how crowds are different, because it'd be quite easy to assume that kind of like a concert would be the same all around the world, but it varies quite a lot, even around the UK and even around Europe. So it'd be exciting to see what South America's like in those different places.
Yeah, that's really true.
Thank you guys so much. It was a pleasure talking to you.
89, a Rádio Rock.